Greetings, YouTube. Happy solstice, winter Yule. And if you're watching this in the southern hemisphere, happy summer solstice, wherever you are. Happy in the northern hemisphere, happy Yule, happy winter solstice. With these driving currents of winter today, we felt it necessary to do a video about the currents that we have been feeling into, that we feel are driving the change right now, especially with the two planetary Titan powerhouses in position with our great alignment, which will usher in a new age. We are transitioning in from one age into another. We're going to the age of Aquarius in the zodiac wheel. Reminds me that our energetics can be like the zodiac wheel. I feel at times that our energetics can change with the seasons. But we'll have particular magnetic resonance or electrical pulling towards the particular season that we are born in. Like, for instance, for anybody that's born in February, you might have a pull. You'll have a pull to the north. The north winds. Doesn't mean you're going to necessarily like winter. The north winds. When the north winds blow, the change comes down. As winter heralds a change, it brings to certain hemispheres death, because winter is associated with death in some mythologies, and in certain hemispheres too, the land goes fallow for the winter. So some places there's no winter crops planted, so the land goes dormant for the winter. In some areas you can grow seasonally, you can grow year round, but typically the winter winds bring change from the northern realms of the diamond Icelandic worlds or constellations. We find that they are encoded within certain aspects of the Earth grid, the organic Earth grid at this time. To me, personally, when feeling into the north energies, we are feeling into Hyperborean energies, which is, interestingly enough, coincides with the void, in my opinion, because winter can be the month of the void, as well as you could say, well, maybe I'm feeling underworld currents or underworld energies at this time, and I'm having perhaps a lot of underworld experiences when I dream or meditate, or maybe I'm having a lot of void experiences too when I meditate, or dream, when we dream for that matter. I've always felt a certain draw towards Yule, winter solstice, and of course the corresponding Christmas that comes on December 25th. I have lights that are hanging up in here, and to me the lights, whether they be multicolored, gold, diamond, or white, the light represents the stars. The cords or the electrical lines represent the connections between the stars being a certain corresponding planet or star world. The cord or the electrical connection being the one that powers the stars. From this standpoint, you could say that it's kind of like an electrical universe concept. That's how I've always seen holiday lights as. Always seen holiday lights as that way. This year, for our decorations in the house, we picked the Winter Palace. Again, we're drawing up on the sacred geometries of winter. And what is associated with the sacred geometries of winter? To our northern kingdoms, we have Yule, which represents bonfires. It represents a certain aspect of life. It represents, too, in meditation and dreams, there's sometimes a need for the human body in the wintertime to rest. rejuvenate and relax. And there's nothing wrong with that. If the energy of winter upon us are coming in, and with the alignment of the Christmas star, you're bringing a certain geometrical fractional pattern to the grid of Earth. There's a certain energy and magnetism that combines with these two giants. Then they create rings of change. Just pop right on there. Rings of change. Saturn is the planet of rings. Jupiter is typically associated with the planet of change. If we enter the Aquarian ideology, and Aquarians typically born during the winter months, and their air currents represent change, as they are the change in the zodiac wheel. If we compare the zodiac wheel to the wheel of life, we can see that air companies change. Air is support energy for fire as well. Air changes a lot. Its direction, its patterns, its precepts. Air also helps. It's with mind energy. Mental energies are associated with air energies. As we move into the time of change, which winter can be heralding in times of change, great change, and great periods of rest with it. We feel within us, we feel the crystallization of certain diamond fractal frequencies associated with those changes. And with that change, we can attribute that to applying those things to our life, the different frequencies and different states of consciousness that we move up and down in those states. Kind of like a fractal wave, or a wave in the quantum physics world. We can move up and down in it. So we've always been drawn to any themes with ice in it, Nordic, old Germanic tribes of the north as well, of those typically you may say exploring typically the old Germanic pagan origins of certain seasons as well. That's what we feel drawn to, also to aspects just of winter of change, and then feeling the ancestral bloodlines right now, feeling them, and then really meditating and dreaming with them, with the ancestral spirits, is very powerful right now during this time, because, I mean, again, we could use underworld energies, underworld spirits, as well as those of the moon. To me, I feel that the moon plays a big factor in the winter as well. The lunar energy moves in and out and cycles through us as well. Some of us consider ourselves children of the moon, children of darkness, or the children of the sun. To me, those are very legitimate energetic tribes that represent themselves within the human spectrum of consciousness. In the human spectrum of consciousness is always ever-changing, and ever-changing our fractal fields. Our fractal fields change, our memory fields change. Our source connection remains. Anyway, this is what it means to me personally for winter in the upcoming holiday season. Or we're actually in the middle of the holiday season, which to me kind of goes from, when I look at the overarching line, goes from October 31st to January 1st. I see it as an overarching line connecting Halloween, Samhain, typically the thinness of the veil to all the other times as we move into the darkest time of year, the shortest day, which is the first day of winter, which would be today, which is the solstice. Again, tying it back into the solstice. Anyway, we just wanted to share some thoughts, and that's what it means, and we're feeling a lot of, we're feeling, especially this year, a lot of change of energetics, and they're very high-frequency, powerful energies, because we just came off of a few days of having headaches for no real reason, except that we are feeling the change in that high-frequency energy and high volume of light coming in with the diamonds frequencies. And that's what we're personally feeling for this time when we feel into the energetic fields and stuff. So those are my trains of thoughts. I want to say that Hyperborea is interesting. So is the constellation Cygnus with the constellation of Change, which was brought into my reality fields most recently, or consciousness stream, which is very interesting. As myself being in Indigo Generation 2, that generation is tied into the constellation of Cygnus. So I'm not going to get into the video here. There's other interesting videos on YouTube about that. This is just my insight into winter and the holiday season. So hope this resonates with you. Take what resonates with you, leave the rest. Bye, and have a good day. We wish you the best of luck, and we send you many blessings for Yule, solstice, and the upcoming holiday season, whatever holiday you and yours celebrate. Goodbye.